Namaste friends, welcome back to the Web Technology Learning video series. We have been talking about various aspects of HTML so far. I hope you find it interesting and it is useful for you for your classes. Today we'll learn about links, which is a very important part of HTML. The link is also called hyperlink, and now you should immediately make a connection for the word hyper to the H in HTML. HTML, the expansion of the abbreviation is Hypertext Markup Language. So the same hyper in HTML is also the common aspect of the link, which is also the hyperlink. What is a hyperlink? If you see, any regular text will be standalone by itself. A text will read through and then be done. Okay, it can have nice formatting, it can have pictures, it can have bullets, and it can have tables, everything that we have learned so far, but it is standalone by itself. When I say standalone, it is all by itself. Now, it is not so useful, because if you see any practical world today, any web page that we have today, if you go to one web page, it has the ability to lead us to other web pages by providing clickable lines. These clickable lines are called links. Because they are clickable, they are called hyperlinks. Because they are hyperlinks because they allow us to go from one place to another place without having us to type everything that is required in the browser. Let's see an example of hyperlink. This is a popular web page we have in India. It belongs to the India Today web group. It's the India Today magazine's website. Now you can see there are many news items over here, but what you probably know this already. You can see, if the moment I move my cursor to the no change in August 31 deadline text, it immediately changes to a hand, right? And you can probably sometimes also see a pop-up that gives us a little bit of more information on it. The hand changes, the mouse cursor changes appearance to a hand, and there is a pop-up, and the most important is you can click on it and it goes to a different web page. This clickable text is called link, a hyperlink. Okay, so you can go back by clicking the back button and then go to another link. In fact, this page is full of links. The news is all about Taliban in Afghanistan. That's why you will see only them. There is also the Paralympics covered, but these are all links. Because this is a news website, every single thing that is there on the front page is actually a link where the summary of the information is given here, and you can click on the summary and it leads to a second or subsequent web page. These are called links, and they are also called hyperlinks, and they form the core of what we know as HTML today. Okay, so we'll learn about how to create links in our HTML pages simply. There are two kinds of links: absolute links and relative links. Now, imagine we are on a web page, the same web page that we have been to now, India Today website. If you click on a link, where does it lead to? That is a question. It can lead to two different places. One, sometimes the clicking on the link leads us to another web page on the same website. Sometimes you click on a separate link and it takes us out of the website and it goes to a different website. Imagine there is a search link and you click on it and it leads us to google.com, but sometimes it takes us to another page within the same link. right? So these links technically are called uniform resource locators, or in summary, URL. So these URLs are the ones that define where we go when we click a link. Now, how do we get the link? We'll see it in a subsequent in a moment. But right now, the important thing is there are two kinds of links. Links that take us to the another web page in the same site, or to a different site. Now, if you were the ones technically speaking, um, if you were to provide the an address to the link, so when we give a link as part of HTML, we have to specify where it should lead to, right? So far we have been saying it could lead to another web page in the same site, or it could lead to a completely different website. So the place where we have to go is indicated by something that we have just defined as a URL, right? So these URLs are of two types. One, where a complete URL is given, which is sometimes called an absolute URL or an absolute link, whereby we give the complete reference. Imagine somebody is asking you, how you are standing in the middle of Hyderabad, and then you are asking somebody, how do I go to Charminar? Okay, the answer can be given in two ways. The answer can be, it is right in the next street, or the answer can be, starting from the bus terminal, take bus number 113 and then go to something else, and then take bus number 203, and then you get down in the second stop, and so on and so forth. So there are two kinds of references that are being given to the same place. The first one is very relative. It is assuming you are in some place, and it is telling you how to go to the next place, how to go to where you want from where you are. So this is a relative positioning or relative addressing. These are called relative links. So there is a notion of where we are right now. So relatively speaking, how to go to where we want to go. So these links are called relative links. They tell you where to go from wherever we are. Okay. The second kinds of addressing, remember the Charminar addressing starting from the bus terminal, it makes no assumptions about where we are. So it can get us wherever we want to by giving us a complete detail. Those kinds of links are called absolute links. We will see an example for each of them subsequently. But even in the relative links, there are two subsequent types. One is called a link for a particular file or an image in the same folder or in a different folder. Imagine you are asking for the same. You are looking for a house in the same street as where you are, or it is in a next street, right? Both of them are relative, but one is telling you that it is in the same street, the house that we were looking for, but another where the house is somewhere in the next street, so we have to go a little bit further. These are two kinds of links. Now, enough of theory, let's look at an example. The first one on the top is an example for an absolute link. Now, in HTML, the links are encoded in the tag A. Okay, A. Very simple, very convenient to remember tag A. It takes an attribute called href. The value of this attribute is the place where we want to go, is the web page where we want to go, or is a resource that we want to get. The last one is the most technically correct description. It is an indication, or it is the URL for the resource that we want to get. Most of the times the URL is pointing to another web page, but there is no restriction that it has to point to a web page. It can point to a file, it can point to a picture, it can point to any other resource, whatever the browser can support. Okay, so the attribute name is called href. The value of the attribute defines where we want to go or the resource that we want to get. In the first example, we have a complete URL https://www.kamakoti.org. This is a complete reference to a website, and the value that is between the beginning and ending A tags is the text that is displayed on the screen. So this is the summary that we saw in the India Today website. So the summary shows up as Kamakoti Peetham, and the web page where it leads to is the address that is given in href as a value for the href attribute. The bottom two are examples of relative links. Both of them are trying to get a picture of the Acharya. Now, if you see, the difference is here, the difference between an absolute link and a relative link in terms of the is only in terms of the value that is provided for the href attribute. So you can say that there is not much of a difference from a HTML perspective as far as relative and absolute is concerned. These are our notion. However, the value that is given to the href attribute defines where the browser is trying to get the data from. So if you just plain simple give the name of the file, such as acharya.png in the first example, then the browser will go and ask the server, get me this file which should be in the same directory, and the server will get that file for us. In the second example, the browser says, okay, I want this file called acharya.png, but it is supposed to be in an images directory from the root. So it is also specifying where exactly this file should be found in. So if the same file is in multiple directories, then browser knows exactly where to get it from, and server will give only the file that is being asked for and not any other file, even though the files are of the same name. Okay, so these are relative links. Now let's go back to our favorite website w3schools.com for a practical example. HTML links are hyperlinks. We click on a link and jump to another document or another web page. The syntax is a tag is a hyperlink. It has this syntax. We have seen all of them. Let's try an example. You see the href https www.w3schools.com, and the summary is visit w3schools.com, and you can see how it shows up on the right hand side. Just the summary with the link showing up with an underline and the cursor changing the appearance once we hover over the summary. This is the appearance of a web link or the hyperlink or the URL. Okay, if your browser has a status bar, then when the mouse hovers over the link in the status bar, we get to see the actual URL that the link is trying to get us to. And I have to say this, we have to be very careful when we are clicking on the links, because they may not go to the place where we think it is going. We may end up in some all kinds of bad website. So we have to be very careful clicking the links, but that is secondary. Today we are here to learn about how to create links, and this is an example. What more do we have? When we click a link, right, we can say when user clicks on a link on our web page, we can decide how the new web page is going to be. We can say when you click on a link, it should open in the same page, meaning the existing web page goes off and the new web page loads in the same window. We can say the existing web page should remain the same, and the clicked link should open in a new tab or a new window, or some similar options. So the parent and top options that you see on the screen, which is the value for the target attribute, will make sense if you have a multi-framed web page. We'll learn about frames subsequently somewhere down the line. Nobody uses frames anymore, so these are not so useful options. So the useful ones are two: whether the link should open in the same web page or it should open in a new window or a new tab. Accordingly, we have to use the target attribute and give a value for it. Okay. Then we talked about relative URLs and absolute URLs. We can use an image as the summary for a link. Okay. You can see inside the A tag they have actually put an image. So far we have just seen the summary to be just a text. There is no restriction that the summary has to be only text. It can be an image also. This is an example. So there are more things that you can go and see on this web page, W3 Schools. But for our purposes of understanding what the links are, I think we have learnt enough for today. If you want, I hope you enjoy the lesson, and we'll meet each other in a subsequent lesson. Do keep practicing, because only with practice we'll learn or we'll be able to master HTML. Thank you.